Hi, I'm Michelle with Colorado Model Railroad Museum.
And I'm Misty.
And today we're going to talk about sound energy. But first we want to give a shout out to our sponsors today. You want to talk about Greeley Station?
Yes,
okay.
yes. So you're tuning in today live on YouTube's Greeley Station. Greeley Station's purpose is to bring, their mission, is to connect the community to the organizations and businesses to the community, bringing everybody together in Greeley and beyond.
And I want to talk about our museum sponsor, Soundtrax, today. Soundtrax is a Colorado company, and they actually sponsor all things sound in this building. And so we're a little bit later on going to bring out some model trains and talk about the sounds that they make. So we just really wanted to shout out to Soundtrax as a sponsor today.
Yeah.
So thank you. And you need to turn your sound down on
there.
that. Speaking of sound, we can hear sound from there. Okay, so let's get started today. There is a PowerPoint available when this gets posted on YouTube, the permanent version. The PowerPoint will be with it on sound energy. So what is sound? Sound is a wave that travels through a medium.
Wow, like a wave, like an ocean wave or a wave in a bed of water.
Right, but there's sound all around us all the time, right? I mean,
yeah.
Even when it's really, really quiet, you can usually hear something like the ticking of a clock or something in the room, right? Yeah, so those are all waves. And so our world in the air is full of waves of particles. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that.
Maybe let's take a minute and sit really still and listen to the sounds around you.
Okay.
Maybe not a minute, but yeah, just take a moment.
Yeah, so what did you hear? What did you hear in your home? Did you hear anything? Probably maybe the sound of the refrigerator. That's kind of a constant sound that we just learned to tune out. Yeah. But that's something that's almost always going on in our home. That just a little hum of the motor keeping it cold. So
yeah, it's interesting how.
Yeah. The medium that sound travels through the most is obviously air.
Yeah.
That's how we're speaking. That's how you're hearing us. The sound is going from our vocal cords through the air to the microphone on that camera over there, going through some electronics to your home and being put out by a speaker on whatever you're watching this from.
Yes.
And so that's how you're hearing it from that speaker. It's vibrating the air, and that air is going to your ear. And you heard what I just said. So sound is pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives us so much opportunity. And one of the things too is when we are making sound, or as you talk, think about how your tongue is moving, because that kind of helps control those waves too.
Yeah, your tongue forms the sound.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so how do we measure sound? Sound is measured in hertz.
Like the rental car?
Well, spelled the same as the rental car company, but I think this one's been around a lot longer. So hertz is actually how you measure sound. If you were to imagine that I have a rope and my hand is a rope, if you were to go up and down 1 second, so like that would be 1 hertz. If you double that, 2 seconds, 2 hertz. And I know I'm not right on because I can't measure this, but it gives you a mental picture of what that looks like.
And we tried to do the rope earlier, but guess what? Yeah. I got hertz.
Misty's jokes. Anyway, that's kind of a visual picture for you of how sound is a wave.
Yes.
Now, the higher the frequency, the faster it moves, the higher the sound. So a real slow wave is a really deep sound. And a really fast frequency is a really high sound. So that's kind of how that works. So let's look at some examples of sound waves in our building. I think some fun things that we have are, we have this whistle. And that is a train whistle with 4 chimes. Could you hear the 4 sounds?
Yeah, each one, there's
4 at the same time. It gives it that really unique sound. This one is a 5 chime wooden whistle.
I think I hear a train.
That one gives you a completely different sound and a different kind of wave because they're shaped different, and there's 5 sounds. And see how each one is a different length on here? That is what gives it all the different tones. And so the length of it is making the air move faster or slower depending on the length to give us the high sounds and the low sounds together. Can you hear all of them in there?
Wow, yes.
That's pretty fun. We also have a train. Model railroading. We're a model railroad museum. So behind me here, let me bring it up.
Oh, it's the Rio Grande.
This is the Rio Grande, 3 of our Rio Grande locomotives, and these have Soundtrax sound decoders in them. So they're giving us all of their sound through a computer chip inside the locomotive. So I'm going to bring it up here so you can see it. I just turned the bell on. Can you hear that? And there's a whistle. So I'm going to slow him down here so you can see this train. Now, whistles on trains are actually a communication device where they use sound for communication. So when I started this up and moved it, I really should have hit 2 horns. 2 whistles is go. And then when you want to cross a crossing, and you'll hear this next time you're in your car and you see the light, the arms come down, you know a train's coming. Listen for its whistle. It's going to be 2 longs, a short, and a long, like this. Did you hear it? 2 longs, a short, and a long. And so there's all sorts of sound that we use with our trains. Now when you come into this museum, you'll know we have a 3D layout, but sound is really the 4th dimension. Without sound, it doesn't come to life.
You're absolutely right. There's so much that we do in our daily lives that the sound enhances that experience of for us. Yeah.
So I'm gonna blow one more horn, and now I'm gonna turn its sound off.
Oh, you're right. We
See
do
how
need
quiet
sound.
it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, without that sound, it's not alive. Like it really brings our layout to life. So it's amazing how much sound plays a role in model railroading.
Speaking of sound, I'd like to say thank you. We're getting compliments on our jokes. We should take the show on the road. I do want to say hello to Doug Evans, who has said hello to us today here live. I do want to say hello. We see you.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, so what instrument do you think has been around the longest?
The kazoo.
Close, but it's the harmonica. The harmonica was invented in 1821, and it has been the most produced and most purchased and most used musical instrument of all time. And so today we are going to make one at home.
Okay.
And so what you need to make this, if you had your kit, this is what your kit has in it. And so inside it, it will have 2 sticks, popsicle sticks. It should have 3 rubber bands, like this. And it should have a straw. Can you hand me a new straw to start with?
Oh, most definitely.
Like our straw container?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
All right.
so let's go ahead and, oh, and you need a pair of scissors.
Yes. So what you'll need at home is a pair of scissors if you have a kit. Here we go.
Yep. So what we're going to do is take one of your rubber bands and you're going to stretch it lengthwise around your popsicle stick the long ways,
Okay.
like this.
Okay.
See how I have it like right down the middle?
Do you know all those videos they say don't try this at home? No, we want you to try this at home. Try this
Try
at
this
home.
at home. This is a fun one.
Woo!
Okay, so now we're going to set that down with our other popsicle stick, and we're going to take our straw. Our straws have the bendy,
Yes.
and we don't need that. So we're going to cut the
that
straw
off.
off right at the bendy part. So we have this straight part. Now, in the instructions, I actually cut it shorter, but we could go ahead and just cut this in half to
Yes.
start with, and then you can trim it later. So you're going to need 2 pieces of straw.
And if you don't get your half, it's okay because the purpose is to cut 2 pieces here.
2 pieces.
A little
and it doesn't
longer
matter
than the
how long.
popsicle. Longer than the popsicle.
So I'm going to lay them out here and get my other stick, and you're going to put your straw in there, kind of lay it on there. And I actually, when I made it the first time, I ended up taking one out because I had a hard time holding them both. But the concept is you do this, and then you're going to wrap your other 2 rubber bands around the ends. I had a hard time making one straw stay, so just start with 1 straw.
Okay. Oh yeah, because this is I think I need another hand thing.
Yeah, I know you need a third
there's
hand to
that,
make
yeah.
that work. So then you're going to take your rubber band and just twist it, and then twist it, and then twist it.
And I'm a little slower than Michelle, so if I'm gonna just go my pace. It's okay to at home.
And the other thing I did is I made one too tight one time too. So it doesn't have to be super tight, just to hold that straw in there, and you need a little tiny gap in there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I got a twist in my rubber band, but that's okay. It's just to hold it.
Does this look okay?
That looks perfect.
All right.
It's like a little man, actually.
I know. I was like, I could do.
Okay, so let's put our other piece of straw in there. And turn this over and kind of squeeze it to hold that straw, and then take your other rubber band and put it around the ends. And I really struggled with the second one last time. Oh yeah, getting that last twist in there is a little bit hard.
So I want to comment to soundtracks. I'm really kind of jealous of Michelle's shirt here. It's in purple. It's my favorite color. So we kind of have that in common, don't we?
All right. And so the one I did earlier, I cut a little shorter, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So
because mine looks different. Yeah.
All right. You now have a harmonica.
Woo!
And are you ready to try it?
Here we go.
I
right.
Now my straw on this side is poking me in the face, so I'm going to trim it off a little bit.
I was having that too.
The straw is actually to keep the distance between the two pieces of wood. And another thing, if you don't have straws, I saw where you cut like a 2-inch by 2-inch piece of paper, and you fold it in half, and you get kind of a little square that you can keep in there, and so you can use just paper if you don't have a straw.
Do you think a toothpick might work too if you don't have a straw?
Probably, just something in there to keep that little tiny bit of distance. Okay, are you ready to try it?
Here we go.
The other thing I learned is that when you slide your straw in, if you can get your mouth to fit in there,
Maybe I shouldn't have cut
it gets
mine
higher.
Yet. All right.
And the further out you slide it, the deeper it gets.
Do you think if I'm going to check something out here.
Now, when you're doing these at home, you're going to find that it just tickles your lip a lot when you play this.
My upper lip is still tickles.
You can feel the vibration, and that vibration is actually what's making the noise. That's making the sound go through the air, move the particles, the hertz to move it out, and that's what's happening when you're doing this.
If you would like to share how you make other instruments at home, please do. Feel free to share with a video or upload a picture, send us a little description, type up a description. But I think we should let this tune carry us over to Patrick.
Yes, so also on the final product, you will find a link to a video with Patrick from 4-H, and he has a really cool visual of sound where he uses some salt and some waves. It's going to be really cool.
You'll be able to visually see what we were talking about earlier.
All right,
you ready?
well, that's it for us. So
thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.